As we said earlier, DraftKings announcing plans to go public in a merger with a special purpose acquisition company, Diamond Eagle, and gaming technology companies SBTech, expected to close in the first half of next year. The deal makes DraftKings the only vertically integrated pure play sports betting and online gaming company in the U.S. DraftKing CEO Jason Robins was on Squawk this morning following the announcement, explaining why he thinks now is the time to raise some capital.
There's a lot of new states that have recently legalized online sports betting. Michigan just recently, Colorado about a month or so before. So we have a lot of really exciting, new markets that we would like to launch, and that requires capital investments.
David Katz from Jefferies is here on set talking more about this story. David, good to have you in. Is now the time to start monetizing the promise of what we know about at least fantasy or sports betting?
Look, I think what the reason we're seeing what we're seeing, as you point out, is that the story of U.S. sports betting is here in the U.S., but there hasn't been any pure play stock to buy. We just hosted, Jefferies did, with our U.K. colleagues and clients, a bus trip 3 weeks ago around New Jersey, came back with a great set of information. Investors were like, that's great, but what can I buy? And I think that's what we're seeing here today.
How big is the opportunity in the U.S. for sports gambling?
It's a terrific debate that will go on for a while. Our estimate is $13 billion. I think the estimates in the information provided this morning began at 14 and went up to 23. And so that debate goes on and on. I think the pivotal matters are whether or not there is mobile. And one of the other pivotal matters that we don't know about, many states is whether in-person registration is required for online wagering. Mississippi has no mobile. Illinois passed, does have mobile, but it does require in-person sign-up in order for that to occur. All of those are going to affect how big the revenue opportunity ultimately is.
I think back to a couple years ago when I was in Atlantic City covering all the casino closures. And part of the reason we got to this point where you're seeing now this states passing legalization of sports betting is because New Jersey was looking to it as an opportunity to basically turn around and save its gambling business. What does this do to the casinos? And how much of a case study is New Jersey for the rest of the country?
Look, I think one of the critical elements that all of the states are looking at, to your point, Morgan, is that, that they rely on the tax revenue generated by those casinos, whether it's New Jersey or anywhere else. And so the licenses are being funneled or filtered through the casinos. And so they are driving that process. Now, the fact of the matter is, FanDuel is, doing quite well in New Jersey through their partnership. And there's such a small percentage of the revenue that's actually retail. And so when we go to the casino operators and those management teams and say, these numbers look great, the promise sounds fantastic, what should I do to my model? The answer is nothing yet. So what they're making, they are spending on bringing new customers in. And so far, there's no measurable impact on GGR, on casino floor revenue.
I remember in the early days when this was starting to bubble, people pointed to online poker and a hard reversal of policy that burned a lot of investors. Are we past worrying about that?
Look, I think there's a wide range of opinions. We are not particularly, worried about that. What we believe to be the case is that mobile will be the driver of this revenue and profit opportunity. And more importantly, the in-game wagering opportunity is, potentially very large, and there's a range of opinions about that. For example, you're watching a game with, I have a text that's been going on for 5 years with my cousins and brother. I bet Pete Alonso's hitting this one into the parking lot, $20. Now we can go on an app and place that bet right in the middle of a game. That's not the case in Europe. That will be the opportunity here in the U.S., and you're going to start to see that next baseball season.
Live viewership has a lot invested in this as well. Yeah, that's going to be a big deal for media as well as gambling. David, thanks.